This is CBC Nova Scotia News.
The future of the old Halifax Memorial Library. Why city staff say turning the space into a park is the best option.
Housing and the election. What the three main political parties are proposing.
And new arrival. The new Nova Scotia to PEI ferry begins sea trials in the region.
A nice start to the weekend. Lots of sunshine for Friday. Tracking some wet weather rolling in for Saturday and some gusty winds for Sunday. All the details are coming up.
More than a decade after the old Halifax Library closed, the city has begun to explore options for the site's future that could include demolition of the Municipal Heritage Building.
The city says demolishing the building is the best option because it's a complicated site with a burial ground that has never been properly acknowledged. The CBC's Haley Ryan has more.
The stream of people passing the Halifax Memorial Library each day, and the generations of Haligonians who checked out books here likely never knew they walked over the graves of thousands of people. A decade after the library closed to make way for the Central Library, the city is finally hiring a consultant to create a plan for the site. But because of a historic burial ground on the property, municipal staff say demolishing the building and turning the area into a park is the best option.
It is just one of those classic cases, this site, that illustrates how a whole part of our history can just be jettisoned and forgotten.
The property was originally the poorhouse burying ground, active from the 1760s into the Victorian era. Poorhouse tenants were people at the margins of society at the time, orphans, people with disabilities, or newcomers. People from all backgrounds were buried here, including Mi'kmaq and Black Nova Scotians, and victims of epidemics like smallpox. When the poorhouse eventually closed, the site was grassed over and became Grafton Park. Years later, the Memorial Library opened in 1951 to honor those who died in the World Wars.
This still is that. It is the living cenotaph, right? The representation of freedom and knowledge and all that, the sacrifices that were made. And that's what is the building.
There was no mention of the burial ground when the library was built, and no records human remains were found during construction. But Fowler says that's hard to believe.
I think it's highly unlikely, bordering on impossible, that the construction of the Memorial Library didn't disturb burials.
Although municipal staff say demolition is the best option, heritage advocates say the building should be saved.
The city saying that they want to demolish it, I think is misguided and is a lost opportunity, and is also really sad because I think we can be a leader in sustainable adaptive reuse.
The site has been an important fixture for recent history. Everything from grabbing fries at the Bud the Spud chip truck to protests relating to war and homelessness. Municipal staff say millions of dollars would be needed to renovate the building, which requires digging. An archaeological study recommends against that. Pam Claude DeRoche of the Mi'kmaq Native Friendship Society says they are happy to see consultation finally begin. And this wasn't lost history for her. She says many people in the Mi'kmaq community have known their ancestors were buried here.
It's almost a little emotional because these are our ancestors. These were somebody's auntie and uncles and mothers and brothers, and they belong to community. So it is a bit emotional, but it's also exciting on the possibilities of what can be done and how do we do that together.
The consultant will gather public input over the coming months. The final plan will go to Regional Council next summer. Haley Ryan, CBC News, Halifax.
After fears it would not get off the ground, a new housing project will open later this month in downtown Sydney. Eleanor's Court will take in 25 people, all of whom are living at a nearby pallet village. Erin Potty reports.
Eleanor's Court is a 25-unit building that offers apartment-style living to people who are precariously housed. It features a shared kitchen and meeting rooms for supportive services such as counseling. Erica Shea is the president and CEO of New Dawn Enterprises, the lead on the project.
This was a parking lot 2 years ago, and now people's lives will be saved. People will live who would otherwise die. People will get consistent support in a place where they're loved, in many cases for the first time in their life.
The project was built with $5 million in federal funding from the Rapid Housing Initiative. But 2 years ago, CBRM Council rejected the initial proposal, which led to protests and an emergency meeting.
So we were allocated the money. It was a grant. It was designed to build housing for the most vulnerable. And there was a moment where we were going to send it back. That was the most heart-wrenching moment of this journey.
Rent for the units will be 30% of a person's income. That's whether the tenant is working, on income assistance, or unemployment. The Ally Centre of Cape Breton will operate the building.
It's about hope and having, a bit of a future rather than freezing to death on the streets and struggling for every meal that you get, or, hustle. It's a big, they're relaxed.
The complex was named after a 21-year-old Eskazoni woman who died while living rough. Porter says because there are so many people living rough in Sydney, the Ally Centre could fill 3 units like Eleanor's Court. And she says there's also a lengthy wait list for rooms available at the pallet shelters. Erin Potty, CBC News, Sydney.
The Nova Scotia government has not yet decided what to do with land it recently bought at Shannon Park. The province spent nearly $17 million last month on 2 parcels at the former military site.
Our role through Public Works is to purchase the land. So we've done that. We've through our strategic land fund, and now we turn that over to other departments to do the planning.
Federal Crown Corporation Canada Lands has plans to sell other parcels at Shannon Park. The 34-hectare property on the Dartmouth side of Halifax Harbour has been largely vacant since 2017.
The City of Halifax is asking residents what they value most from the municipality. HRM is building its new Strategic Priorities Plan. The priorities will guide spending and major council decisions for the next 4 years. The draft plan focuses on supporting Halifax's major growth, like increasing the housing supply and having more reliable transit.
It may result in us having more confidence to go forward and suggest that, okay, we need to focus more resources, people and money, at transit for a few years. Here's where we're going to be making service reductions, or here's where we're going to be pausing service expansion.
The online survey is open until April 23rd. Council will finalize the plan this summer, and it will come into effect next spring.
Premier Tim Houston says he's intrigued by the idea of alcohol sales in corner stores, but he says discussions are only in the early stages. Houston says getting increased market access for local producers is in line with his push to break down trade barriers with other provinces and territories. His comments follow reporting last week by CBC News that the government was considering expanded sales access.
It's a concept that's been discussed in this province for a long time, and I listen when people raise it, but if we are to move forward on that, there'll be some consultations.
Local industry groups in Nova Scotia have told CBC they support the idea, but say it must come with at least equal shelf space as major corporations. Long weekends here, and so is Ryan Snoddon with your forecast.
Right, and it sounds like Good Friday is going to be a very good Friday.
Yeah, absolutely. That's going to be, I think, the day when all of the elements come together. We've got the sunshine, mild temperatures, the winds won't be too strong. It's really going to have everything. Have a look. We'll see temperatures ranging between around 8 to 12 degrees for the mainland. A little bit cooler perhaps in those onshore westerly winds. And note the winds coming in from the Bay of Fundy and Cobequid Bay may keep temperatures a bit cooler. Truro and Kentville as well. But overall, it's going to be a really nice day. Temperatures closer to 5, 6, 7 degrees across Cape Breton. Then things are going to be a little bumpy towards the latter half of the weekend. So increasing clouds for Friday night, Showers moving in, but no, not a whole lot here. This is not going to be a washout on Saturday. If you've got some outdoor plans, just make sure they include a rain jacket. Those scattered showers will move through. We'll see southwest winds that are going to be gusting upwards of 40 kilometers per hour. The wind's a lot stronger on Sunday, and we'll have a deeper dive on this in a few minutes, but just to give you the heads up. So Sunday morning, not too bad. The front comes through. We're mild Sunday morning ahead of the front, like in the double-digit range, and then into the afternoon, the front slides through. The northwest winds will have temperatures tumbling throughout the afternoon. Those winds on Sunday are going to be gusting 60, 70, even 80 kilometers per hour. So if you got a big crew coming over and you've got to have a big turkey going, maybe put that turkey in the oven just a wee bit earlier. Can't rule out some outages with those types of winds on Sunday. Yeah. Again, a deeper dive into this with your full 7-day forecast coming up in a few minutes.
Yeah, you don't want a cold turkey, do you?
Definitely not.
Sure. Okay, thanks, Ryan.
Thank you.
With dwindling stock and affordability issues, housing has been a hot-button issue in Nova Scotia for the last few years. On the campaign trail, the three main federal parties have announced a number of housing proposals. But as Andrew Lamb reports, experts in the province have mixed reviews on each of the plans.
Housing affordability has been top of mind for many people in recent years, and in this federal election, political parties have promised action.
We will build at a pace not seen since the Second World War.
Great life in a beautiful home on a safe street.
We want to build homes that you can actually afford.
CBC reached out to experts in Nova Scotia to get their thoughts on the party's housing promises. Here's what they said. The NDP, Conservatives, and Liberals have all pledged to build more affordable housing. But this housing researcher says what the parties actually define as affordable has been ambiguous.
I was surprised at the lack of attention on what we mean by affordable housing based on how much concern there's been about it over the past 2 decades.
The main parties have also pledged to significantly increase the supply of housing.
Our plan is to build 3 million homes in the next 5 years.
Our goal is to double the pace of housing construction to almost 500,000 new homes every single year.
A new Conservative government that will remove gatekeepers, cut taxes, build homes, build millions of homes.
The head of Nova Scotia's Construction Association says the province may not have the workforce needed to support this scale of building, particularly if we rely on traditional methods and processes.
Right now, we have anywhere from 2,700 to 3,000 vacancies in the construction industry across all sectors.
Williams says a future federal government needs to ensure the construction industry's voice is heard, especially at the local level.
All too often, we are not at the table when some of these policies are being developed and conceived, and consultation, frankly, is lacking on most of these ideas.
We also know that Nova Scotia has rapidly lost some of its most affordable rental housing, and some experts say that means it's important to preserve lower rents where they currently exist. Leviton Reid says an NDP proposal to ban corporate landlords from buying existing affordable properties could help with that.
That would definitely contribute to addressing the erosion of affordable rental housing stock.
To address our housing issues long-term, Leviton Reid says we need much more non-market housing, like nonprofit and public housing. For her, the Green Party and the NDP have the strongest emphasis on that. Andrew Lamb, CBC News, Halifax.
The countdown is on to round 2 of the leaders' debates. The English language showdown is tonight in Montreal. The CBC's Brett Ruskin hit the streets of Halifax to find out what voters are hoping to hear.
Canadians from coast to coast will be tuned into tonight's debate to see what leaders have to say, including here in Halifax. There's been lots of interest from folks that I've been speaking with to watch and to tune in to tonight's English language debate, with lots of different topics on people's minds, from the cost of living to Canada's relationship with the United States. Here's what a few folks had to say here in the Halifax area.
I am hoping to see a clear articulation amongst the candidates as to what they represent and what they're going to provide to us in Canada. Obviously, Mr. Trump is at the top of the issue, but we have our own financial issues. We've got education issues, housing issues, you name it. So you can't be glib on this.
The focus is mainly on Donald Trump in the U.S., which it should be.
Okay. Also, I'd like to see how each party is going to help unify the country, because there is a rift going on with what's going on out west. So I think the debate is going to be very important to help those candidates really get their voice out.
I think one of the biggest ones is just like the situation for housing. I think like income inequality, it feels like things are more expensive for a lot of folks in the middle class and below who are finding that they can't really afford to live in Canada like they used to.
And so certainly interest in the debate, not only from people who have already cast their ballot and are looking just to see and hear what leaders are saying about the different issues that are affecting Canadians, and from folks who haven't voted yet, perhaps haven't decided yet who they're going to support in this campaign and are waiting until after the debate to cast their ballot. Brett Ruskin, CBC News, Halifax.
Former Prime Minister Jean Chrétien was in Southwest Nova Wednesday night, urging Canadians to stand united amid Donald Trump's threats to our country's sovereignty.
And when our leader McCartney says we have an opportunity, he is right. Now we will build the infrastructure we need to make sure that we will be independent and not dependent of the capricious will of some guys down south.
Chrétien was speaking at the campaign headquarters for Ronnie LeBlanc, the Liberal candidate for Acadie-Annapolis. He joked about being thankful to Donald Trump for inadvertently uniting Canadian voters ahead of such a consequential election. He also praised Mark Carney for how he's dealt with the U.S. president and his tariff threats and the 51st state quips. Chrétien served as the 20th Prime Minister of Canada from 1993 to 2003.
The Nova Scotia to PEI ferry service is scheduled to start 2 weeks from today. Northumberland Ferry says it's doing everything it can to move on from the mechanical problems from last season and says the service will be more reliable this year. Wayne Thibodeau reports.
The newest addition to the PEI to Nova Scotia ferry service, the Northumberland, is still here in Pictou. Sea trials are now underway. It won't be added to the regular service until mid-June, but officials are confident this will be a better season than last year.
I think the general public is going to be very impressed with that vessel. There is more redundancy on that vessel in case something does happen with an engine or with a thruster. There is the ability to continue to sail safely and reliability.
The ferry service has been struggling since the Holiday Island was scrapped after a fire in 2022. Its replacement, the Surima, and the Confederation have been plagued with problems. The Confederation ran into the wharf last year, leaving it out of service for 4 weeks.
In the highly unlikely scenario that we do have a challenge with the Confederation, is our team is being as ready as we can, if something were to happen in that pre-shoulder season, that we would be able to introduce the MV Northumberland in there for continuity.
Wilson says both boats have gone through pre-season maintenance. The Northumberland has been out for sea trials 5 times last week. More sea trials are planned for next week. And Wilson says having 2 boats should ensure a more reliable service. Business leaders, especially in Eastern PEI, say it's critical the service is more reliable this year.
We know the traveling public is struggling with the notion of planning on using the ferry, especially from the commercial side. I think any cancellation will be magnified in the eyes of the public. I do believe that. Northumberland ferries cannot afford to have any cancellations due to maintenance issues.
There is one outstanding issue. The new boat is a tight fit into the dock at Wood Islands, but Wilson describes it as a minor issue.
It fits well into Caribou. It fits okay into Wood Islands. We need to do some more modifications on basically the rubber blocks, the sponsons on that. But it's not a big deal.
Transport Canada told CBC News it's working with the ferry operator to ensure the vessels are ready for the start of the season. That season begins with the Confederation on May 1st. The new boat will go into service in mid-June. They'll then have 8 round trips a day. People will get a chance to tour to Northumberland next weekend. Wayne Thibodeau, CBC News, Charlottetown.
The Halifax Wanderers have partnered with Canadian Blood Services to kick off the start of their season. Hundreds of Wanderers fans signed up to donate blood to get free tickets for the season opener on Saturday.
I thought, why not mix football and a great cause together? So, yeah, it's still actually my first match of the Wanderers, but I got a couple of more people who are donating blood, as well as we'll be going there for the game on Saturday.
The team partnered with Canadian Blood Services to bring awareness to the need for blood donations in the city. Blood Services says donations this year have been down.
Definitely important for things like this to help encourage people, A, who have never made a donation before to come on out and make their first one, or B, people who might not have been in a while. It's a good reminder to book their appointment and come on out and see us.
The Wanderers hope to make it an annual tradition. The blood drive is happening until Saturday.
Well, staying on the pitch, Halifax Tides FC were in full practice today. The team will make history when it hosts its first game against Calgary Wild FC at the Wanderers grounds on April 26th.
Canada's first professional women's soccer league kicked off its inaugural season this week. Built by former national soccer stars, the Northern Super League marks a new era for sports. The CBC's Georgie Smythe reports.
The Northern Super League, a dream years in the making, built from scratch by co-founder and former national team member Diana Matheson. She says Canada needed its own women's league to build on past wins and achieve more.
We have the opportunity to build one of the best women's professional soccer leagues in the world. Really, for the first time in the last 5 or 6 years, women's professional sport has been treated like a business, and it's at the beginning. And there's this growth industry that's only going to continue for the next 2 decades.
The league begins play with 6 teams from across the country: Vancouver Rise, Calgary Wild, AFC Toronto, Ottawa Rapid, Montreal Roses and Halifax Tides.
We're very proud that this is a league coast to coast, and it is Canadian.
Soccer legend Christine Sinclair co-owns Vancouver Rise.
Christine Sinclair, player.
And like Matheson, became a force off the field, fighting for years for equality in opportunity and pay for female athletes.
As players, we are constantly told that our compensation, or lack of, was all that Canada Soccer could afford.
Even against the sport's governing bodies. The league's leadership was asked to reflect on the hard-fought battle to get here.
I don't think we're going to let Sink answer that one.
But there's more to do, they say. They want more teams and stadiums to support the league becoming one of the best in the world. Half of the league's players have come from overseas, but all hope to inspire Canada's next stars too.
This means a lot, and I don't think we know how much it means until we actually get started.
There is some poetry to Vancouver and Calgary playing the league's opening game. They were the first 2 teams to sign on and begin this historic league. Georgie Smythe, CBC News, Vancouver.
Lovely shot. Shuby Park. Ryan's up next with his full weather forecast. Do stay with us.
Well, people have been pushing for this long weekend, and, well, now all we need is some weather.
Yeah, well, good start to the weekend. I didn't like your warnings about the turkey, though.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. The wind forecast for Sunday is becoming a little more clear, and as it becomes more clear, it looks a little bit stronger as we get closer. So now looking at gusts 60, 70, 80 kilometers per hour. So a couple of things. This time of year, there are no leaves on the trees yet, so it does take a stronger wind to knock out power. That said, that is kind of the threshold. Not quite warning criteria, which is 90, but not far from it in a few places. So just keep that in the back of your mind and prepare accordingly. Have a look at our webcam video of the evening, and this,
Nice
of course,
evening there,
it's gorgeous.
Beautiful evening in Lunenburg. And it's going to be a really nice Friday in Lunenburg and all across the province. In fact, as we have a look at the temperatures out there right now, it's 9 degrees in Lunenburg, 9 in Halifax, 11 in Antigonish, 10 in Western Head, and yes, 8 degrees in Sydney. As we look at the current winds, yeah, it's not too bad. We are looking at a breezier day overall with 20, 30 kilometer per hour winds. The gusts upwards of 30 to 40 kilometers per hour. We do have a gust towards 46 in Yarmouth. Now, we've been watching a couple of isolated showers this afternoon and along the Northumberland shore. Those seem to have faded based on the radar. Maybe an isolated shower here, and then back towards the west in through the Gulf of Maine. A couple of showers starting to be picked up on the radar there near Grand Manan, and a little bit of activity over New Brunswick. So there is a slight risk for the next couple of hours just as this system kicks out, but not expecting a whole lot. High pressure moves in for Friday. This is the system we're watching for Saturday and into Sunday. And you can see the warm air pushing up with this, and it will indeed be mild. Not this mild, 25, 30 degrees. We don't want that just yet, but we will be seeing temperatures turning milder for the weekend. 0 in through inland areas and even towards the Sydney area will be right around +2 to -2 tonight for the most part. Note that chance for an isolated shower here even towards the late evening, and then that system kicks out. Lots of sunshine on tap for Friday. Mostly sunny skies. We'll call it a mix of sun and cloud for Cape Breton because I do think the clouds will be in the mix in the morning here, but a brighter sky into the afternoon. Temperatures ranging from 4 to 7 degrees. Back into the mainland, temperatures ranging between 7 and 10. For Guysborough County, warmest inland, and you can see temperatures anywhere from 8 to 12 degrees across central areas and back into the west as well. It's going to be a really, really nice Friday. Now for Saturday, the front comes in, a few showers on the leading edge of that front, a few spits of showers, and then a better chance with just a round moving through into the afternoon, but not expecting a whole lot here. Not a washout of a day by any stretch of the imagination, but clouds dominating, temperatures between 10 and 14 degrees, 8 to 10 in through Cape Breton Island. Now, as we look at the Sunday forecast, there's the front coming through. Mild in the morning, like double digits, 10, 11, 12 degrees, and then into the afternoon, the temperatures are going to fall, the skies are going to clear, and the winds are going to kick in. And kick in they will. We'll run you through the timeline of the winds. So picking things up Saturday evening. Saturday with some gusts, maybe 50 along parts of the coast, so it will be a bit breezier. And then Sunday, here come the winds from out of New Brunswick and into Nova Scotia. Sunday afternoon, widespread gusts, 60, 70, 80 kilometers per hour, and a couple of spots that could pop in excess of 80. This model a little bit more bullish than some of the others, but you can see I think the strongest potential for some gusts near 90 is going to be along that Northumberland shore and into Cape Breton later Sunday afternoon into Sunday evening. The winds will continue to howl into Monday morning, especially Cape Breton in the east, and then they will fade as we move into the afternoon slowly. It's pretty much gusty all day though in through Cape Breton even on Monday, but the winds easing across the mainland. Temperatures right around the double-digit mark. I think we'll be in the 8 to 10, maybe 12 range, especially in the west. Shower chances Tuesday into Wednesday, back into the teens, hopefully by late next week.
Hopefully. Okay, thanks so much, Ryan.
All right, thank you, Ryan. Coming up, the latest look at how the parties are polling as we get closer to Election Day on April 28th. Federal Election Day is 1 week from Monday, and for a look at what the polls are showing, we're joined by Eric Grenier, who runs the CBC's poll tracker. So as we soon head into the final week of the campaign, what are the trend lines you're seeing?
Well, we're starting to see that as we get closer to Election Day, the race is getting a little bit closer. I wouldn't say that it is a close race or that it's a toss-up at this stage. The Liberals still have a lead in our poll tracker, which is an aggregation of all the polls that are being published throughout this campaign. They still have a lead of about 5 points. We've seen them somewhere in that 5, 6, 7-point lead nationally over the Conservatives for the last little while. So it has shrunk a little bit down from that 6 or 7-point lead they were at maybe just a week ago. But with that kind of lead that we see, especially with the way that the Liberals have support distributed across the country, they remain the heavy favorites to win a majority government if the election were held today. But of course, there's still a little bit of campaign left to go.
So how confident are you about those seat projections you're seeing now?
I think that if we were looking at an election tomorrow, that I'd be pretty confident that the Liberals would win that majority government because of the fact that they're leading by 9 points in Ontario. They're ahead by a huge margin in Quebec, in Atlantic Canada. They're even leading in British Columbia. It would be enough for them to win a majority. We saw that in the last 2 elections, the Conservatives actually had 1 percentage point more support across the country than the Liberals did, and the Liberals were still only about a dozen seats short of that majority mark. So if they are 5 points ahead nationwide, that should be more than enough for that majority. Now, if you're asking my confidence, if that's what we'll see on Monday night, well, we'll still have to wait and see what's going to happen in the rest of this campaign, especially with the debates. We still don't know what the impact will be from those debates.
Well, in Nova Scotia specifically, which ridings will you be keeping a close eye on and why?
Well, it's really shifted from where things would have been a few months ago. At the beginning of the year, it looked like the Conservatives could do very well across Nova Scotia, and the NDP could even pick up a seat or two in the Halifax region. But since the polls have moved so dramatically across the country, in Atlantic Canada, and from what we've seen from the polling that's been available in Nova Scotia as well, the Liberals look like they should be able to hold pretty much anything that they won last time. There would still be a couple of ridings that I think will be important to watch on election night. Cape Breton, Kansa, Antigonish would be one of those. That is one of the ridings where I think the Conservatives would have it pretty high in their target list. Central Nova historically has been as well a Conservative riding. Sean Fraser has been there now for a little while, but will we see that the Liberals will be able to hold that kind of seat? And then in Halifax, the Halifax riding itself, this was one of the ridings that the NDP would have been targeting. We've seen that the NDP's vote in Nova Scotia and across the region has gone down quite a bit, but will enough of that vote be concentrated in Halifax to give the Liberals a bit of a run in that riding? So those would be some of the ones that I'd be watching on election night.
Now, former Prime Minister Jean Chrétien was a guest at an event last night with the Liberal candidate in Acadie, Annapolis. Any thoughts on why he would go there in particular?
Well, that would be an ambitious riding for the Liberals to be targeting. And if they think that they have a shot in that corner of the province, then they could be looking at nearly a sweep of Nova Scotia, which is not impossible. We saw just this week there was new polling from Narrative Research that was giving the Liberals an enormous lead throughout the region and in Nova Scotia with over 60% support. If we see that kind of result on election night, then yes, we could be in the same scenario that we were back in 2015 when the Liberals won all 32 seats in Atlantic Canada, including all 11 in Nova Scotia. So maybe the Liberals are swinging for the fences a bit. If we see that riding in particular does not stay with the Conservatives on election night, they're going to have a pretty rough night, I think, across the country.
You mentioned the debate, the French debate last night, English debate tonight. The impact they have on people who are maybe undecided, what is that like?
I think that they can be pretty important, but it's a different scenario when we're talking about leaders who people have seen before and leaders that they haven't seen before. In French, obviously, Quebecers are familiar with François Blanchet. He's been the leader now. This will be the third election in a row. And Jagmeet Singh is the same thing. So there's less of an opportunity for those leaders to surprise undecided voters. They already have a decent idea of those leaders and who they are. But for Mark Carney and Pierre Poilievre, if someone hasn't yet made up their mind about who they're going to vote for, they still need to see more from those leaders, and particularly from Mark Carney, they might not know that much about him. So I think that it is going to be a very key moment for Mark Carney and the Liberals, because when you're the front runner, if all you can do is meet expectations, then you're going to win the debate. When you're the challenger, which Pierre Poilievre is in this case, he needs to exceed expectations. He needs to do better tonight in order to close that gap with the Liberals. So a lot at stake for those two leaders in particular. And I didn't see anything that suggests that the French language debate is going to change things in Quebec. The English language debate, we'll see what happens tonight.
All right. Now, so far at least, this has looked like a major reversal of fortunes for the Conservatives and Liberals. When was the last time you've seen such a dramatic swing in support?
It is just incredible to see this amount of shift, and especially that we haven't seen it swing back. A lot of people have brought up the 1984, 1993 elections when John Turner came in, Kim Campbell came in, and those parties with this new prime minister had a big surge in the polls. But at this stage of those campaigns, it was already starting to fall apart, and we're not seeing that happen here. So the fact that the Liberals have gone from a sure defeat to now pretty good chance of winning is remarkable, and it's probably one of the biggest swings we've seen in federal election history, especially when it comes to polling. It has been quite a shock, but when you see what's been happening with the United States and Donald Trump and how he has inserted himself into Canadian politics, perhaps it's not too surprising that we get this kind of unpredictable result.
All right, well, we'll see how it all shakes out. Thank you so much for your insight. We appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
Coming up, with the French language debate in the rearview mirror, party leaders will square off again tonight in English.
And retaliatory tariffs. Canadian canola farmers say they're caught in the middle of the U.S.-China trade war. Welcome back. As we mentioned, voters will have another chance to see the federal party leaders on the debate stage.
The English language debate is also taking place in Montreal with a bigger audience than the face-off in French. Julia Wong has the takeaways from last night and what's at stake.
Bonjour, ça va? Hours before taking the debate stage, NDP leader Jagmeet Singh made the rounds at a Montreal market, talking with shoppers. We got dental care and pharmacare done. And making sure to buy Canadian. First of all, these are made in Quebec, so that's good. Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre and Bloc Québécois leader Yves-François Blanchet opted for a more low-key day, doing debate prep. Stopping by a Montreal institution for smoked meat, Liberal leader Mark Carney posed for photos, signed autographs, and chimed in on the Debates Commission, which organizes the leaders' debates.
I think there's value in the having an independent body that sets the rules for the debate and prosecutes them. I think some of the decisions, I'm sure, will be called into question, but I don't think it's for the political leaders to be making those determinations.
The commission facing controversy after it kicked the Green Party out of the debate last minute for not running enough candidates.
Victoria Humphrey with Rebel News.
It's also under the microscope because far-right media dominated questions at a post-debate news conference.
Well, yesterday, Rebel News was allowed by the commission.
All that top of mind for the Greens as it released its campaign platform. Its co-leader is calling for major changes.
I think that the only reasonable and honorable thing for the commission to do would be to resign.
Regardless, it's full steam ahead for the debate, and viewers can expect a fulsome discussion, says the moderator.
We will have more in-depth conversation tonight. We'll let it play out. And I'm going to feel no obligation to cut people off after 10 seconds before they get a chance to make their points. We're going to let it breathe a bit.
After the debate, the pace will start to pick up for all parties. Advance voting across the country starts this Friday. Julia Wong, CBC News, Ottawa.
And you can watch the federal leaders' English debate at 8 o'clock Atlantic. It'll be broadcast live on CBC TV, CBC News Network, and everywhere you stream CBC News.
Calls to cut trade barriers between the provinces have been one response to the U.S. tariff onslaught. Now the Ontario government is acting, tabling legislation it says commits to free trade. Jamie Strachan reports.
Few have handled the so-called elbows-up approach to trade like Ontario Premier Doug Ford. The hats, the shirts, now the talk.
With President Trump taking direct aim at Canada's economy, it can't be business as usual.
Now a move to bolster trade within Canada, Ford not looking south but east and west.
We need to work together to build a more united, more competitive, more self-reliant Canadian economy.
The new legislation would lower Ontario's interprovincial trade barriers and encourage other provinces to follow suit. He also signed agreements with the premiers of Nova Scotia and New Brunswick.
We have to seize this moment, we have to act on this moment, and make sure that we open up true free trade across Canada.
This moment driven by U.S. President Donald Trump.
I always say tariffs is the most beautiful word to me in the dictionary.
His on-again, off-again tariffs have stoked unprecedented economic nationalism.
I think it's really good for the Canadian people to support our local businesses.
We have to do whatever possible to feel really independent.
Oh, that's it. Risky. Ford predicts lower costs and more variety, like the ability to order alcohol from other provinces, and for workers in certain jobs to more easily move between provinces. National independence, a key issue in Ottawa as well.
The federal government is leading by committing to legislate the end of all federal barriers to interprovincial trade by July 1st.
It all may make Canadians feel better, but experts warn it certainly won't replace doing business with the U.S.
May help cushion the blow a little bit, but I think it's maybe being oversold. But I'm all for that in the sense that anything that gets some political momentum to do something good, it's the one thing we have control over.
The question now, whether it catches on across the country. Jamie Strachan, CBC News, Toronto.
The tariffs are on the minds of many Canadian canola farmers who say they feel forgotten in the trade war. It's been nearly a month since China slapped steep tariffs on Canadian canola exports. And as Alexander Silberman reports, it's not the only barrier they face.
On Margaret Urgetti's family farm, seeding time is just a few weeks away, and the stress of tariffs lingers over this season's crop.
We seem to be in the crosshairs of two global superpowers having a trade war, and they both happen to be our biggest customers.
Last month, China hit Canadian canola oil and meal with 100% tariffs, a response to Canada's duties on Chinese electric vehicles, aluminum, and steel. The threat of tariffs from the U.S. is also making prices volatile.
Here we are, we're ready to go to the field, and there's a lot of unknowns.
Canola contributes more than $43 billion to the Canadian economy, but the sector is facing yet another blow to trade. The U.S. announcing canola-based renewable diesel will no longer qualify for a tax credit. Amid all that uncertainty, plans for several multi-billion-dollar processing plants now put on hold.
Without eligibility for that tax credit, we find ourselves having a difficult time to compete in the U.S. biofuel market.
It's all just very unpredictable.
The value of crops is already fluctuating with unpredictable weather. And this economist says the political climate is an added layer of volatility.
We don't know how rough it's going to be. We don't know if it's going to change tomorrow, next week. Everybody's just kind of on edge.
The only thing that seems to be certain is that we're in the midst of a trade war.
Urgetti feels farmers have been largely forgotten in the trade war.
We have to understand the hurt to our farms and our communities is going to be devastating.
With millions of dollars invested in their farms, producers say the stakes are high, and they desperately need free trade for their industry to have a future. Alexander Silberman, CBC News, near Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan.
All right, Amy, it's official. Montreal Canadiens are playoff bound.
I know you're happy about this. They beat the Carolina Hurricanes 4-2 on Wednesday night.
And a scramble off the draw, picked up, and it's down there, he scores! Jake Evans! And it's a collective sigh of relief for the building now!
Sure was. That crucial win in the last game of the regular season was needed to clinch a postseason spot. And everyone at the Bell Centre was on their feet for the final buzzer.
I know you were watching. The Habs will face the Washington Capitals in the opening round of the playoffs on Monday night.
Well, Canada's main stock index posted modest gains ahead of the Easter long weekend, led by strength in the energy stocks as the price of oil rose. U.S. markets were mixed. Here's a look at where things closed as we head to break. All right, Ryan's little cooking tip there earlier in the show. Maybe put the turkey in a little earlier.
Yeah, I guess the barbecue, right?
Barbecue can always work as a backup if your turkey's in the oven and the power goes out. Yeah, you can turn the barbecue on. Great point, Amy. And I am guessing that the outages are going to be limited, isolated on Sunday afternoon, but the potential for a few with those gusts, 60, 70, 80 kilometers per hour. Let's have a look quickly at our viewer picture of the day. Beautiful shot. That is the Bedford Basin.
Gorgeous.
Kathleen Smith, thank you so much for sharing this. Ryan's picks at cbc.ca. Okay, so 8 to 12 for Friday. That's going to be our best day of the weekend, at least in terms of temperatures, light winds, and some sunshine, though Monday afternoon looks pretty good too on the mainland. There's the system coming in, which will spread showers in for Saturday, a couple of rounds, and then that front comes through Sunday. So mild temperatures in the morning before the front comes through, and then clearing skies. Clouding up a little bit again late day with a chance for a late day shower, but it does look like Sunday will be, for the most part, dry, but we will be looking at those winds really kicking up. Again, those winds are really going to punch in as we move into this Sunday time period. I actually have it is going to load. So Sunday, note the strongest gusts across New Brunswick and then in across Nova Scotia, gusts 60, 70, 80 kilometers per hour for that Sunday afternoon and Sunday evening time period. So it'll be rocking for sure. We will clear the skies through Monday. And the winds are going to ease from kind of west to east across the province on Monday as well. Getting really choked up about it.
Make it, Ryan.
We've got some showers on tap for Tuesday, late into Tuesday and into Wednesday as well. And temperatures at least are looking like they're going to kind of ride at least the seasonal mark to even slightly above seasonal over the next 7 days.
There you go. You made it. Thanks, Ryan. Have a great weekend. Animals at a zoo in England were treated to an Easter surprise this week.
Keepers decorated enclosures with props and boxes for the upcoming holiday. The ferrets were kept entertained by baskets filled with eggs and straw, while penguins had small fish piled on top of Easter egg props for the birds to find.
The zoo is inviting visitors to take part in what they are calling Zoonormous Egg Hunt over the long weekend. Easter-themed puzzles will be used to help learn more about the species.
See, everyone loves Easter.
Everybody loves it.
What a great weekend. That's it for us tonight. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.
Good night.
Have a great weekend.